God is still in control. High on a rocky cliff where the salty breeze whistled, lived a girl named Marina and her grandfather Eli. Eli was the keeper of the great shore light. Marina loved the days when the sea was like a blue silk blanket, but today the air felt different. The birds were flying low, and the horizon was turning the color of a bruised plum. "A storm is coming, Marina," Eli said softly. The wind began to whistle through the cracks of the lighthouse. Marina watched as the clouds gathered like a heavy curtain. The ocean, once so quiet, began to churn, and white foam bubbled at the crest of the waves. She felt a little flutter of worry in her chest. "Does the ocean know where it's going?" Marina asked, clutching her grandfather's coat. Eli looked out at the darkening sky and nodded. "Come, Marina," Eli said. "We have work to do." They climbed the long, winding spiral stairs to the very top of the tower. Eli showed her the great lamp, its glass polished and bright. Together, they checked the oil and adjusted the wick. Even as the wind howled outside, the lighthouse felt like a sturdy, warm cocoon. Eli wanted Marina to know that no matter how loud the wind grew, they had a purpose. Suddenly, a great roar echoed against the stone walls. Marina ran to the window. Outside, the world was a blur of gray and white. The waves were no longer blankets, they were mountains of water crashing against the rocks. The sound was like 1,000 drums beating all at once. It felt as if the whole world was shaking, and the shore might disappear under the rushing tide. Eli sat down on a wooden bench and beckoned Marina to his side. He opened an old, leather-bound book that had been in their family for a very long time. "The world can be a noisy place, little one," Eli said. "Long ago, people felt just like you do now. They heard the rushing waters and the sound of horses and chariots, and they wondered if anyone was watching over them." Eli began to recite a poem that his own father had taught him. His voice was steady, cutting through the noise of the thunder. "The waves rose up, the drums of war came rushing to the Philistine shore. But even when the nations shake, God knows the path his people take." Marina listened, and the drums of the storm didn't sound quite so scary anymore. Marina looked back at the window. She imagined the ancient shores and the rising tides mentioned in the verses. She realized that the storm outside was big, but the one who made the sea was much bigger. The rain lashed against the glass, and the lightning flickered, but the lighthouse stood firm on the rock. She began to understand that being safe didn't mean the storm went away, but that she wasn't alone in it. Eli continued the poem, his eyes shining with a quiet certainty. "He sees ahead what we can't see. He guards us through uncertainty. Though storms may roar and troubles roll, God holds the world. He's in control." Marina repeated the last line under her breath. "He's in control," she whispered. The flutter in her chest finally went away, replaced by a deep, quiet peace. Throughout the night, the storm spent its strength. The drums grew quieter, and the rushing waves slowed their pace. By the time the first hint of morning appeared, the rain had turned to a gentle mist. Eli and Marina walked down the spiral stairs and opened the heavy wooden door. The air smelled fresh and clean, washed by the rain. On the beach, they found treasures left behind by the tide, smooth stones and bright shells. The world was quiet again. Marina looked at the vast ocean and then back at the lighthouse. She knew that there would be more storms in the future, but she wouldn't be afraid. She would remember the light, the poem, and the truth that God holds the whole world in his hands.